Hello, hello. I have made it and I'm so excited to be here. How's it going? I had some tech issues today. Um, but I figured them out. It happens. It's something that happens all the fucking time when you are an online business owner, and I made it. So that's all that matters. So thank you for your patience. And thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time meeting me, I am Kendra Perry, online business mentor for health coaches and practitioners. So, my goal is to help you consistently hit 5K per month. So if you're not hitting 5K per month in your business consistently, maybe you've had the odd month, but then you have a lot of months where you don't hit that 5K, or maybe you're not even coming close. Maybe you're barely clearing 1 or 2K a month. So maybe you're new, maybe you're a couple years in, but you're not hitting those milestones. Then I am here to help you, and that is what I do. Is I help health coaches get to their first 5K month and then build the foundation for a business to actually help them hit that consistently. Okay. Now, what I want to talk about today is something that might sound a little bit familiar to you. And so if you're here with me live, you can see that there's 10 of you on right now. I would love it if you would say hey in the comments. Just say, give me a little hey. Say hello. I always love when this is interactive. But this is the experience I want to describe to you, and I would love to know if you are having this experience. Okay. So you got certified as a health coach, as a health practitioner from somewhere. And you quickly realized that you knew nothing about business. So you started investing in all these courses. Maybe you bought a few business courses. Maybe you're even kind of a course junkie. Maybe you've invested in several like group programs, coaching programs. Maybe even you've invested in a private coach, yet you are still not seeing the results that you want to be seeing. Okay. Let me know if that is you. I would love to know. And this is the thing. Maybe you feel like, okay, I have all these tools, but they're not the right tool. So Dr. Herman's here. Hello. Erica's here. Hello. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. And so maybe you've taken all these courses and you're still not seeing the results. So you're just like, I just haven't gotten the right strategy. There's some strategy or there's some secret that I am totally missing, and I just need to find out what that is. So let me know if this sounds familiar to you, because the truth is, if this is you, if you've invested in a lot of courses, programs, like things to grow your business, and you're not seeing the results, there's a good chance, I'm going to say a really high chance, like 98% and above, that you do not need some secret strategy. You don't actually need any more business trainings or coachings or anything like that. You might need to actually look at your mindset. Okay. So a lot of people don't know this, and I definitely didn't know this when I started my health coaching business 7 years ago. That mindset is a big part of it, right? And I've heard this a lot of entrepreneurs and my mentors say this, and I don't have any like direct science for this, but I really do believe this to be true, is that online business is about 80% mindset and maybe 20% strategy. So Dr. Herman says, yep, that's me. So we're on the same page, right? So, yeah, like we really have to think about how we might be actually preventing our own success. And this is incredibly common. And so when I first started business coaching, a few years ago, my first few clients, like I was so excited coming from health coaching because, I really enjoyed my 5-6 years as a health coach, but I was just feeling like, wow, so many people have so much trauma and I don't feel equipped to deal with this. And I was just getting a bit burnt out. So when I jumped into helping health coaches start their business, initially I'm like, this is going to be so easy. We're just going to be talking about strategy. It's going to be super non-emotional. And like, I'm just going to give them the strategy and they're going to grow their business. It's going to be awesome. And that was actually not the experience I had. So I had a very tough lesson, because what I realized was that these new health coaches had a lot of mindset shit in which they needed to address. Because the truth is, building a business is going to trigger all your insecurities, all your inner personal stuff, things that you might even thought you had dealt with, or things that you didn't even know that you had, right? And the reason for this is because it's impossible to build a business inside your comfort zone. It doesn't happen, right? And so you're constantly outside of your comfort zone and you're doing things that feel vulnerable. You're putting yourself out there. So all those unhealed wounds are going to get brought up. And so there are so many different reasons why you might actually be preventing your excess. Strategy is great, and I love strategy. You know, I can talk strategy till the cows come home, and strategy is important. You do need strategy. You do need skills, right? You need to learn how to sell. You need to learn how to message properly, how to actually connect with your audience. Yes, that is important. But if your mindset is messed up, then you're going to prevent and block money and clients and success from coming into your world. Okay. So if you fit into that category where you're like trying to learn business, it's not working. Yes, you probably need to fine tune your skills, and you can do that with a good coach or mentor, but you probably need to consider your mindset as well, because we all have it. I come up against mindset stuff too. I'm in almost going into year 7 in my business, and I still come up against it. The difference between where I am now and where I was when I was first starting out is I am 100% aware of it, right? I'm like, oh, hello, there you are. Oh, look, there's high school Kendra coming in, wondering if anyone's going to show up to her party and feeling like nobody likes her. Hello, high school Kendra, like, what's up? I see you, I acknowledge you, I love you, but I'm going to keep going forward anyways, right? That's kind of the big difference between entrepreneurs who are new and not seeing the results they want, and entrepreneurs who are seasoned, seeing success, generating consistent impact and income in their business. Okay, so what I want to discuss today are 5, I call these mindset avatars. So what I teach inside my coaching programs. And I'm going to be launching a live group experience coaching program for all of you who are not yet making 5K consistently in your business. We're going to be launching in October, so that by January, which is a big month for health and wellness, you have everything you need to actually get those people who are like, hey, I'm ready to invest in my health. Okay. So that's going to be starting in October. The wait list is actually just below in the description if you want to get on that. But this is what I teach inside, and I call these the wealthy coach avatar. So inside Health Coach Accelerator, my signature program, we teach the wealthy coach framework. Okay. And so these are part of the wealthy coach avatars. And these are basically hats that you need to put on if you are to be successful in business. So I'm going to go through 5 of those today. Okay. So number 1, the courageous action hero. Okay. So you need to be courageous AF in business to be successful. This means that you need to, even though it's scary, even though it's uncomfortable, even though it doesn't feel good, you need to consistently take action, right? You need to consistently do things, even though it is incredibly uncomfortable, right? Nothing new that you do is going to feel comfortable. Learning to ride a bike, you may not really remember, but that was probably really scary. If you've recently learned a new sport, it probably felt really uncomfortably. If you recently just started going to the gym for the first time, you probably showed up to the gym and you were like feeling really vulnerable because you don't know anyone, you don't know what to expect. You kind of feel like, you just feel weird, right? And so that's what business is every single day. And I still experience this kind of like uncomfort or discomfort and trepidation in year 7 in my business, because I'm always trying new things and I'm launching new programs. And anytime I launch something new, I'm like, oh my God, is anyone going to really want this? But I always go forward with it anyway. So that courageous action hero hat that you have to put on is just requires that you're constantly taking this courageous action. You need to learn to be courageous, and courage is not just something you naturally have. You might just be like, well, I'm just not that courageous. You can get courageous. It's a skill, it's a muscle, but it needs to be flexed. You need to flex that muscle. Okay. And that just means like constantly doing things and moving forward with things, even though they feel weird. Because what can often happen is we get caught up in this analysis paralysis behind the scenes, and we are obsessing over, well, what's going to be the right thing? I don't want to do the wrong thing. There's never a wrong thing. The only wrong thing to do is to not do it, right? Because the only way we can learn, and online business is a test, okay, is to actually do the thing and see what happens, right? Beginning of your business, a lot of like throwing spaghetti at the wall, seeing what will stick. Obviously, with a mentor, someone guiding you, there's less spaghetti throwing, okay? The next avatar or sort of hat that you have to put on is called the action-driven imperfectionist. Okay. So again, taking action, but not being afraid to take imperfect action. If you are a perfectionist, you are procrastinating. That is just another word for procrastination in business. Okay. Nothing is ever perfect. Perfection doesn't really exist anywhere. And if you try to be perfect, if you try to wait till it's perfect, then you're probably not going to actually launch your business or make shit happen in your business until you're 85. And even then, it still might not be perfect, right? I encourage you to look through my emails, my Instagram stories, and find all the grammar and spelling mistakes, right? I have a really piss poor attention for detail. I miss things all the time. I am terrible at editing my own work, and I guarantee in my courses somewhere you're going to find a spelling mistake. I don't care. It doesn't matter, right? The point is that my stuff is helping people. And if something's spelt wrong, and sometimes people tell me this, like, this was spelt wrong. I'm like, well, did you get the point of what I was trying to say? They're like, yes. I'm like, great. That's all that matters to me because I just don't worry about those sorts of things. Okay. And so it can be scary to put something out that is imperfect because a lot of us are people pleasers, especially if you're a woman. This is probably true for men too, but I can obviously relate to women in this people pleasing and needing to appear perfect, perfect body, perfect hair, perfect makeup, whatever. It's very much socially ingrained. We're very conditioned to seek perfection, but in business, that is a recipe for disaster. Okay, Lalaza. I love that name if that's your real name. Totally relate to that. So many projects put off because they are a polished product I had in mind. Yeah, just do it imperfectly. And guys, it's okay to be transparent with your audience. You're not offering them perfection, especially when you do something for the first time. So Health Coach Accelerator, my program that is launching in October, is a beta program. I have run this with 30 different private clients, but I'm moving away from private coaching and I've turned this into an online group experience. So this will be my first time running it as that. I'm not going to pretend that I've done it before. I'm going to tell everyone this is a beta. This is my first time doing this, but the benefit, obviously, to people investing in something that is not 100% polished is they will get a lower price point. They will get the lowest price point. Plus, they're going to get a ton more access to you because it's going to be a smaller program and because you're going to make sure that they get extra support. Okay. So yeah. So like when you look at products, like don't be afraid to launch it as the bare bones just to get the information, because what will actually make something polished, using your own words, or I don't want to use the word perfect, but literally the best in your niche, is testing it with real people, with your audience, and having real people going through it and allowing them to give you feedback and them to say, hey, I was actually really confused and overwhelmed in this lesson. And you're like, great, that's really good information. So the next time I run this, I'm going to make sure that's more clear and I'm going to add more resources, or I'm going to give them more time to actually get that thing done. Okay. So that is the action-driven imperfectionist. The next hat or avatar that you have to embody is what I call the objective scientist. Okay, so the objective scientist is running an experiment and they are not emotionally attached to it. Your business is your science experiment. Okay, so you're just kind of like putting different inputs in. You're like, oh, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Let's see what happens. And you are taking the emotional attachment away from your business experiment. Okay. Our business is our baby. I get it. I fucking love my business. Right. And that's great. And we want to love our business and feel passionate about it. But if we create an attachment to our business, if that is the thing that gives us validation, then every time something doesn't go right, and this will happen so many times in your business, you are going to feel like shit and you're going to feel like there's something wrong with you. You're going to feel like you suck, right? And you're going to just basically shame yourself, be like, I suck. This is all because I suck, right? And so when we get emotionally attached to our business in an unhealthy way, we can't see the bigger picture, right? And what having an online business requires is really being able to step back when something doesn't work. And it's okay to have your pity party, right? You can have a little pity party. I'll even cry with you. But it can't last forever. Once your pity party is done, you need to step back. Okay. And you need to look at it and be like, why didn't this work? Right? Like, what could I have done differently? What did work? Well, oh dear. Oh, that's just Zoom giving me a notification. Sorry. I thought I just, stopped being live, but I'm here. Okay. So yeah, you really just need to step back and like understand like, well, what didn't go right and what can I do better next time? Okay. For example, my HTML expert course, I launched it 6 times, right? Before I finally perfected the whole system, right? And it's really just this trial and error. And the first time you do anything, you're not going to get the results that you want. So I'm going to use launching as an example, okay? If you're launching something for the first time, you're not going to get rich off that launch. And if someone tells you you're going to make like 10K or 15K or 30K, they're totally full of shit. Yes, that can happen, but that is not the rule. That is like the outlier. And that shouldn't be your goal because you are going to be disappointed. The first time you launch something, the goal is just doing the launch. Just doing it because it's a lot of work. And the first time is always the hardest because you're creating everything brand new and from scratch, right? Once you have it once, you can then rework it, make it better, and repurpose the stuff that did work, right? So, if you're launching any sort of program or product for the first time, the success is just in the act of doing it, right? And that gives you that information so you can step into your conscious or your objective scientist hat or avatar and look at the information that you have. Because without data, without information, it's never going to get better, right? Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Guys, let me know if you're with me. Thanks to all who are hanging out with me. And if you got questions, I'm here to help you. Okay, the next avatar. This one I love, okay? And this one actually took me a little while to embrace personally. And that is the creative problem solver, okay? You need to get used to the fact that running a business will have problems, right? Problems are going to come up on a regular basis. And it's very easy for us to get really upset. Like, why isn't this working? Why isn't this connecting? Why isn't this doing what it should do, right? Problems are going to arise on a regular basis, but problems are not a problem, right? They're not an issue. They just are, right? They are neutral, they happen, and they are an opportunity to make something better, right? Year 7, problems still happen every single day. I just call myself a professional problem solver because that's all I do is I solve problems all day. I solve problems for my audience. I solve problems in the systems. I solve problems in my courses. I solve problems in my content, right? There are things that don't work on a regular basis, right? Or automations that mess up, or sometimes every now and then, like someone will buy something and the connection didn't work and they don't get the product that they bought and they have to send an email to customer service. And then my assistant tells me like, hey, like, why didn't this happen? And I'm like, oh shit, well, we got to figure that out, right? We obviously hook that person up with the product. We apologize. Shit happens, right? And then we fix the problem, right? Like, I don't take this as an assault on my person. I don't take this as an assault on my business. I just look at the problems and I'm like, great, we have a problem. How can we fix it, right? And so you need to be a creative problem solver, but you also need to bring people into your business in terms of a team or outsourcing who you also empower to be creative problem solvers, right? My assistant is great at organization. She solves a lot of problems for me with organization because I ain't so good at it. I kind of suck at it, right? And so I give her the stage or that platform within my business to make those decisions. I don't micromanage her. I empower her to also be a creative problem solver so that there's less work on me and she can actually do what she's good at because she's going to be, figure out something that's way better than I ever could. Okay, the 5th one I want to talk about today, there are a couple more, but I want to talk about one more before we sign off today, and that is the stubborn mule. You gotta be stubborn as fuck, okay? Building a business is hard. It is the hardest thing. Your first, 3 to 5 years in business are really hard. I find at about 1 year, you can start like seeing the progress, right? It takes 1 year of feeling like you're shouting at a brick wall, typically. That's not always true. With a good mentor, it can happen sooner. For example, members inside my 360 mastermind groups, this is our year-long business coaching program. They started their business in January at the beginning of our program, and some of them are hitting six figures now and hitting like 7K per month. Some have hit 10K per month. And so that's really crazy. I actually didn't expect people to get results that fast. So, it can be done, but you need someone who's guiding you, I believe, for that to happen. But average is probably about a year of being really consistent, having your niche picked out, really specific messaging, before you really start to see progress. You'll probably start to get clients within that time, but a year is when you're like, okay, I feel like I'm turning a corner and things are starting to happen. Year 3 is when you can hit your stride, right? But up until 5 years, like, you're still figuring a lot of things out. So it's hard, right? If building a business was easy, everyone would do it, right? Everyone would just build a business, but it's really hard. And you are learning a whole new language, right? You're learning the psychology of selling and messaging and speaking to people online. You are needing to gain confidence to do things like show up on video and be authentic and be yourself and be a leader, right? Be someone that your audience actually looks up to. And then you have the whole tech side of things where you're learning this whole new online language that is crazy. And if you're in my generation, if you're in your early 20s, then, well, maybe you don't have this issue because you were raised with technology. Me personally, I didn't have the internet that wasn't dial-up until I was like 22. Growing up in high school, we had dial-up internet that was so bad that I would literally sit for hours. I don't know if you guys remember MSN Messenger, but I'd be trying to talk to boys, and I would wait like an hour and the message would just keep bouncing, and finally a message would go through and I'd manage to get one back, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And like, that was like my internet experience in high school, So I didn't get really like internet or actually start utilizing internet until I was about 25. So until about, 11, 12 years ago. So I had to learn this too. And I get that it's hard. I remember like banging my head against the wall, being like, this is so hard. Like, why doesn't this work? Like, how do I actually set this up? Right. And, it's tough to learn. It's a learning curve, right? So that's why you need to be the stubborn mule. You got to be stubborn and just like put your foot down and be like, I'm not moving. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is my long-term game. There isn't a backup plan. I'm just going to figure this out. And I don't care how hard it is. I don't care how much this sucks. I am going to figure it out. Like, you have to want it. You have to want it, because the first 3 to 5 years, especially the first couple years, are hard. And you're going to feel like you're doing a lot of work and not getting a lot of return on investment. It just is what it is, right? All businesses go through this, right? You wouldn't probably expect to start a restaurant and be profitable in the first year, right? There's so much investment that goes into a restaurant, right? In terms of financial investment, like you're probably investing 100K or whatever. So you're not going to be profitable in the first year. And as online business owners, even though we can start our business without 100K investment, which is great, it doesn't mean that we're going to be, profitable or consistently making income within the first year, again, unless you have a coach. Okay. So I hope this helps. Mindset is incredibly important. I focus a lot on mindset inside my upcoming group experience program, Health Coach Accelerator. So we're going to be opening the cart for that middle of October, and we're going to be starting the end of October. We're going to take a little break for Christmas, just because I know that's kind of a weird time to be doing a program. But for December, most health coaches aren't as busy. It's usually a pretty slow month for health coaching. And I really want everyone to be ready to go for January, because January is when people are ready to invest in health. They are ready to hire a coach, someone just like you. So I want you to have everything in place so you can just be rinsing and repeating and getting to that 5K month. Okay. So Health Coach Accelerator is for health coach, the health practitioner, We also will take personal development coaches, life coaches, like anyone kind of in online coaching, it will be relevant. And I basically help you build this very solid business foundation that you must have in place if you want to be generating 5K per month consistently. Okay. So we're going to talk about niching, branding. I'm going to help you build out your signature program. I'm going to teach you how to sell that signature program in a way that does not feel salesy or pushy or slimy, because we don't want to do that, right? We're going to talk about content creation and how to simplify it and how to create content that actually gets people to take action and actually impacts people, right? And so it leads to your bottom line. It brings more clients in the door, and we're going to get you to set up your email funnel so that you can consistently bring in leads and lead them to your sales call. Okay. We're going to be talking about lots of mindset stuff too, and that will happen throughout the program because it comes up for everyone. Okay. So in the description below this video, you can click to get on the VIP list. VIPs will get bonuses that I don't offer elsewhere. It's going to be super fun. It's all live, and I'm going to be there beside you, holding your hand and helping you basically put in place the exact things you need. There's no extras. There's no fluff. Like, this is what every single business needs. Okay. So I hope you'll join me inside Health Coach Accelerator. Get on the wait list and look for that email around middle of October. If you have questions for me, if you want to chat with me about anything we talked about in this video or about Health Coach Accelerator, shoot me a DM on Instagram. My handle is at Kendra Perry Inc. That's Kendra Perry INC. I respond to all my DMs. And thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Guys are awesome. I hope you have a great rest of your week. And I think I'm going live probably again next month, probably middle of October. But I post a YouTube video every single Thursday. So just hit that subscribe button and the little bell beside it, and you'll get notified when I post new videos on Thursday to teach you how to blow up your health and wellness business. Okay, guys, have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.